My dear people of Guam, this is only the beginning. We've got a lot more in store for you. Ray and I have the rest of this year to continue along on our path and do more. And we've come up with an achievable agenda for 2014. It's an agenda to lower your cost of living, help more people out of poverty, keep you safe, and build something lasting for the future. I see a whole bunch of young people here, the future. This is what I'm proposing, and I'm going to need your help along with our senators. First, I'm proud to announce that this year, we'll be expanding Guma San Jose and then constructing more basic homes to provide temporary shelter for homeless families. Priority will be given to families with children, but this will not be a regular homeless shelter. Now, while we are compassionate, we also expect citizens to take advantage of opportunity and support themselves after receiving a hand up. So this subdivision we are building may have certain government services available, including athletic programs for children and nutrition support for our families. But one of the programs will be mandatory job training and active job search. For us, the solution isn't just housing the homeless. It's getting them on their feet so that they can earn the Guamanian dream for themselves. Second, we now have funds to build the Regalo House. I'm looking at my wife. Thank you, Bertie and the fiscal team. We are in the process of identifying the site, and once that happens, construction will begin. And I want to thank every individual and every corporate donor who had the heart to contribute to this effort. And of course, to my beautiful wife. She's led this effort with all the volunteers who joined her. And because of you, all of you, children who've been abandoned, neglected, abused, and forgotten will have a temporary home as they wait for a family to love them. Third, this year we will be hiring up to 100 police and correction officers. This includes, thank you again, Fiscal. I call Bernie Artero Mary Poppins. She found the funding. This includes the 22 police and 48 corrections officers that we are in the process of hiring, and we've made sure to include enough funding in the fiscal year 2015 budget to hire more of these officers. Fourth, and as I promised you last year, we are suing the federal government. This draft legislation, and we've prepared it with Senator Chris Duenas, who will file the bill. Where is it? In fact, I told Chris I'd show it because this is it. It's nothing but paper here, but it'll be a bill tomorrow. This bill asks the legislature to give me the authority to march into district court and sue the federal government to acknowledge morally and financially that its decades of contribution of hazardous waste at the ORDOT dump. The federal government must not ignore that if any leachate has harmed that Lawnfit River, a great fraction of it came directly from their pollution. And we want to compel them to pay their sizable share of the cost to close ORDOT. And that's just the start. There are so many other issues we have to deal with the federal government that will need court action. Fifth, this morning I signed an executive order directing DPW, the Division of Senior Citizens, and the Mass Transit Agency to develop a pilot project in Tumuning, Tumon, Harmon, and Dedido. The idea, which came from Senator Yamashita, is to consolidate all bus operations into one mass transit system. Now, we will see if utilizing the saturated school bus routes for all transit 24 hours a day is something that can work island-wide. And if it does, then we are on our way to less traffic on the roads, major gas savings for drivers, and a whole new world of opportunity for people. Now, these include high school graduates who have a way of getting to GCC and UOG reliably. The expanded bus service also will spur job growth for residents who couldn't get to work because they had no right to work. And if this works, it will be an amazing game changer. 6, we'll be embarking on even more road and bridge construction. We'll be repairing and replacing bridges in Hagatna, Inurahan, Marisu, and Jotnya. And we're going to pave the stretch between Tokcha River and Ipan Beach, the new Tijan Parkway, Cross Island Road, and Ipao Road. And senators, I see our good friends. I want to acknowledge Senator Duenas, Senator McCready, Senator Morrison, Senator Limpiaco. Those have been allies for a positive Guam. We need now to pass Senator Tony Atta's bill, and that will pave the way for Roy Damian Street and Mammoth Street. Oh, please, we need... Mr. Mayor, Mong Mong Totomaiti, it's on the way. We've got a bunch of senators committed to that. Now, all of this comes with an island-wide upgrade of the traffic lights. And we'll then move on to Hamburger Road, Waisengsong Road, the intersection of Route 1 and Waisengsong Road, and on to Jigo, and along Route 1 in Asan and Piti. A lot of work. Now, while all this is happening, Public Works also will filling in potholes in our village streets. 7th, look around. Look around Hagatna. The revitalization of the city is underway. This plaza is done. We will be moving forward. Well, first of all, the museum will be open this year, and then we'll be moving forward with the legislature building, and hopefully that is completed early next year. And then, my dream, of course, I'm going to work with Bernie in finding the money, the Palacio, the old Palacio, where the DOA building and the police precinct now stand. Next month, we will issue bids for the next phase of Hagatna Master Plan. And this is the part that will take us beyond the restoration of the historical and cultural district. The next phase is the repopulation of the city, the repopulation, injecting the people back in here with business, government, shops, and the arts. And this is all going to be in a very exciting decade. 8th, the Department of Revenue and Taxation is identifying the first landowner for forfeiture of property for failing to pay taxes. As a part of process improvement at Department of Revenue and Tax, the men and women there now have a little bit more time and resources so they can concentrate on more of their mandates. Now, this includes going to court to seize the property of landowners who are not paying their fair share of their taxes. And this also includes advancements in IT and GovGuam, such as a new GIS that will modernize our real property systems. And we want to thank Senator Morrison for creating the Office of Technology. Thank you. And Chris, I have to remind you, you just came in, but I just mentioned we're going to introduce that bill tomorrow. Okay. 9th, we are reviewing public laws allowing us to fix public schools. And then in the next 2 weeks, we will have procurement ready for execution of $100 million to modernize all public schools. It will include the construction of at least one more school, and it will be structured to allow us to begin modernizing the biggest threats to the health and safety of students this summer. And I'm hopeful that will include Simon Sanchez and GW over the summer. Hey, go Sharks and Geckos. Part of the financing package will include a new facilities master plan for DOE. And that plan will tell us, among other things, how many more schools we need to build and where they should be built. But related to this goal is my last, but most important proposal. And I believe, just like you, that school facilities are important. And that's why I fought along with the JFK Islanders to build their new JFK. It's why I begged the Board of Education to keep FQ Sanchez open. It's why we're renovating Untalan and we'll be modernizing Simon Sanchez and all the other old schools. And it's why this coming August, there'll be a new central high school opening at Tijan. Some folks were against that too. But since coming to office, I made something pretty clear. The focus of my education agenda will not be about buildings or funding. It's going to be about learning. It's about getting our students prepared to compete and to win against the best in the world. To achieve that goal, we started with a proposal in my first State of the Island speech. We wanted the board to adopt the higher learning standards through the Common Core. And I'm so proud of DOE's progress. Those standards are being implemented right now. Then we've got everyone together, including the union, to develop a new performance evaluation for teachers. Now, it includes student growth as accountability measures. Now, that evaluation is being piloted right now, along with a new evaluation for principals and administrators. We put together a task force that gathered input on what needed to be reformed at DOE. The superintendent took the draft report and started making some of those reforms. Now, among those recommendations was to send a laptop or tablet home with every student. Part of that goal will be achieved by next school year. DOE is in the process of ordering laptops, and this will allow for every 5th, 6th, 9th, and 11th grader to have access to technology. And this is possible because we prioritize and specifically earmarked funding for these laptops. Now, in political terms, this is called putting your money where your mouth is. Now, my 10th proposal is a new investment just as important as those laptops. In the fiscal year 2015 budget, we carved out $4 million in general fund revenues to pay for universal pre-K for 4-year-olds. And that means that we'll be able to open Head Start to every 4-year-old, regardless of family income or any other factor. And if approved in the budget, DOE will have the financial flexibility to expand pre-K in schools that are ready. Part of next school year also can be used to train more teachers in early childhood education. DOE can identify our best teachers and offer them teaching posts in this new grade level. My fellow Gomanians, this is the most important investment that we can make into our future. The early childhood years from birth to 3rd grade are the most critical in the development of a student. And for every dollar that we invest in early childhood education, we will save $9 in costs further down the road. Now, that's because when we spend $1 on that child, 15 years later, we won't be spending $9 on his welfare, prison stay, and government-sponsored health care. Now, and I'm looking forward to Speaker Juan Pat's support, and I'm thankful for Senator Yamashita's vision along this matter. Along with our proposal is an incentive program for teachers who cause extraordinary learning gains, and in their students, especially those who are far behind in the new standards. This is premised on my belief in DOE's vision that to prepare all students for life, promote excellence, and provide support, every child, from the girl who has mastered calculus to the boy with autism, from the teacher who is bullied, from the teenager who is bullied, to the kids who have no running water to bathe. All of them can achieve high standards, and they must if we are to build a greater Guam.